Welcome to Time for Healing. I'm your host, Marion Porter. Have we got a show today? Let's get right to it. We got Sharon Farber. She's going to tell us a little bit about how to become a medium. Yeah, there you are. And look at you, you wrote a book.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me. And the timing couldn't be perfect because the book is formally released on March 8th, and I just got my first actual copies on last Wednesday.
Wow. Wow, and so your book is called Choosing to Be a Medium. I didn't know it was a choice, though. That's really cool. So tell me about this.
Well, that's why I wrote the book, because most people thought what you just said. They told me, hundreds of people literally told me, I thought you had to be born that way, and I didn't think you could learn to be one. And that's while I was learning to be one, because I thought it was fascinating. I wanted to be a medium, and that's what everybody said, and it wasn't very encouraging. So I had to write the book to help the people who are where I was when I started the journey of becoming a medium.
Wow. So what makes you just all of a sudden say, I want to be a medium? What's the thought processes there?
I'd already been doing healing work for many years, and there's a little overlap there. There's quieting your mind and working with an energy field. But I went to a medium in a group setting, and I was just blown away by how exciting and healing it was, and that it was real, that mediums really do connect with people who are considered dead, that it existed, and I thought, wow, I want to do that. And I saw a need for it. I see a lot of people who are in grief that would be helped from some closure by working with mediums. And at the point that I started about 8-10 years ago, there weren't as many mediums out in public now. So I thought that we needed more, and I wanted to become one.
Wow. So interesting. So you wrote a book here. What are some of the steps to actually, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that I could just, okay, I am going to now start connecting with dead people.
It's not that hard. A lot of people receive tiny little senses that their loved ones are with them already. More usually they're close people. Some people might smell a cigarette if their dad's with them, or, that picture moved, I know it was my mom. So there's some basic steps. Number one, you have to know that it exists. You have to know that it's real. There's no point in working to do something that you don't believe in, so you should experience a medium. Next, you should practice quieting your mind, because if your mind's busy with external things, it's not going to be quiet enough to receive subtle perceptions from the spirit world. Oh. And then another big thing is intention. So you already have the belief system. You quiet your mind, and then you use your intention, and you ask for help. So one thing at a time, you set your intention. My intention when I work and when I help you work and my students or classes, I want to connect with significant, recognizable loved ones in spirit for the person I'm giving the reading for. And you ask for evidence, memories, clinchers, and things like that. So you're setting the intention. That's making it happen. So it's not just like, oh, maybe a spirit person will wander in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's not like a fancy game of Ouija board, is it?
No. So you set your intention. Most mediums, including me, ask for help from spirit guides, whichever way you work with them. Some people have spirit guides having a big role. Some people just kind of loosely believe them. So I ask for help from spirit, creator guides to get this information. Then you close your eyes, and then you have a person with you. You can't do it without a person, because you can't do it so well for yourself, because how do I know I'm connecting with my dad or my grandma and not just thinking about them? So what you need to do is, those are the big steps: quiet mind, set your attention, ask for help, and then do it. But you need a person with you who wants to connect with their loved ones in spirit. They have to have some dead people that they know and would understand. And then you quiet, you look for images, sensations, perceptions, and then you tell your person, and then they can validate it. And they'll say, yes, I guess I have someone in spirit like that. So having someone to work with is imperative.
So basically, when you're doing this, it's not like, scary spirits will come through like in horror movies. Nothing like that happens when you're doing this, right?
No. When I'm working, I am using my intention to ask for people coming through from the highest love and light for the best, for the good of all. And I don't personally believe in evil spirits and ghosts and things like that. But just so you know, it would be, not everybody should work at being a medium. It's good to be emotionally grounded and stable. People who are psychotic or have serious depression or addiction, it might not be the best thing for them to try to connect with people in spirit. Like attracts like. If you're in a really poor place and you're intending to connect with people in spirit, you might draw towards you spirits of lower energy. Nothing that's going to possess you, take you over, or do anything terrible, but it might not be a pleasant experience. So you want to be strong, you want to be grounded, anchored in reality in order to do this work where you're connecting with dead people. People might think that's a little weird, anchored in reality, connecting with the dead, but that's the way it works. In a healthy way to do mediumship for the good of all.
Cool. So you make it seem so easy just to connect. How do you just, hello, I'm looking for so-and-so? How does that work?
It's not easy, but it's kind of simple. For people, many of the mediums have it spontaneously happening. They have this door open to the spirit world, so they might see spirit people hear from them when they don't even want it. So they sometimes have to work on closing their door. For me, I consciously open my spirit door, use my intention. I'd like to connect to loved ones in spirit for these specific people, quiet my mind, and it happens. But I have been working on this really, really hard for about 8 years.
Oh. So
it's not just like something that's going to happen overnight. I did 100+ practice readings on people I didn't even know, 15-minute, 20-minute readings where I had people I didn't know and I connected with their loved ones. I went to classes. I've gone to England 3 times to take a week-long class at the Arthur Findlay College, where you immerse yourself. I've taken 3- and 5-day classes elsewhere. I've spent a lot of time and energy into learning this. It's not something simply like, okay, I want to do it now. Here we go, light a candle.
So what is there something that like a step or two that I might be able to try?
Yes.
I don't know if I'd probably be able to connect with
you might.
Grandpa, but
you might.
I'm interested in seeing what a step or two, like a beginner's, like
Sure.
What is some beginning thing? What would that look
I can
like?
do that. I teach beginners. That's my niche.
Yay.
Teaching beginners. Or people who've had, I've had this experience, I've done this, and then teaching them how to focus, use their intention, and do it. I know I've mentioned intention like 12 times, but it's kind of important.
It is, yeah. So what is it that I need to do?
So we're going to do this right now? Are we that part of the show?
Let's do it.
Okay. I want you to, are your feet on the ground?
My feet are on the ground.
Feet on the ground. First, you want to ground. Do you know what grounding is? Grounding is when you become present of where you are. You let the extraneous thoughts leave and you're very present. And I'm going to do this with you.
I'm feeling present.
So close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Feel your shoulders relax. I can feel myself relax as I do it with you. So you're grounding. A little grounding technique is you take your fingers and tap right here. It's a little while you take a couple of breaths. That's a grounding thing.
What is this?
That's your stomach meridian, and it just helps you be present. That's good. I've got a whole bunch of exercises.
That's fun. I was
do.
kind of liking that.
So, and then you already meditate.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're quieting your mind. And then what you're going to do, we'll just go right into it.
Okay.
You're grounded, you're centered, you know what you want. So I have some people in spirit, and I know we don't have a lot of control of it, but I'm sure that your studio people also do. You can aim at me, but it won't necessarily be me. So what you want to do is I'll set the attention that what you want to do is connect to a significant loved one in spirit, ideally for me.
Oh, okay, very good.
Ideally for me. And then you just close your mind, keep your eyes closed, and open your mind to any images you might see, feel, hear, or sense an image that doesn't have to do with what we're doing now. It could be a person, it could be something about a person. And then you'll tell me what you see.
I'm going to have to open my eyes at some point to see where we are in the recording.
You can do that. Beginners usually close their eyes. I keep my eyes open. And some people can focus better with their eyes open.
I did get a name.
Okay.
Esther.
Oh my God.
And I saw
oh my God.
A kind of heavy-set woman taking something out of the oven.
My goodness. So the best response you can possibly get is, oh my God. When people say that, I'm really happy. That's my grandmother. And that's not a common name. And she's someone who's come through very often for me. So she's probably the most likely. My grandmother's name is Esther. She was a bit heavy-set. So you just did this. You just...
Look at me.
It took me
Look
months.
at me first try.
It took me months
I don't
to get
have
a name.
show for nothing, I tell you.
Wait till my mother sees this, because this is her mother. And she's always like, well, how do you know it was her? So here you are. So go back. You got the name Esther. You saw heavy. So what else do you feel about her? What else can you tell me about her? I'm so excited.
I have to close my eyes.
You can do that. I'll look at the clock.
Oh, no, look at the clock. She seems really kind, concerned about making sure that she feeds everybody. This is a meal that she's pulling out. It's a big something coming out of the oven. I can't see exactly what it is, but I see tin foil on a long pan. It looks like a meat that she's cooking. She's bringing it out. She wants to make sure she's got enough for everybody. Is it a big family?
Not a big family, but if people gathered. But the part about being very kind.
Yeah.
And I'm like that. When I cook for people, I have to make a lot.
Yeah.
So I might have gotten that from her.
She's wanting to please everybody with her cooking. So I think her love is tied into her cooking, seeing everybody enjoy it type thing. I don't know if I'm getting far afield or anything.
I don't remember much of her cooking. In the older days, it was more of a baking kind of thing. But the
something's coming out. Something's coming out of the oven.
And I'm sure she had specialties like that. My mom will know more. But nurturing, family, providing would definitely. But you got her name just like that.
I'm not really getting anything else.
Well, we're busy talking and we're doing this, but that's how it works.
Yeah, but that's easy. That was easy.
You have some background. You've been doing your own.
I don't really know you, so I'm excited.
Well,
I know nothing about anyone in your family.
Exactly.
And so I couldn't have
And a name. That's great. That's one of the best pieces of evidence you can get. And that's not a common name.
It's not. It
you know
really
what's really cool?
What?
I started writing the book. I thought it was very weird, and I didn't tell anybody. My parents, my kids, I told nobody. I went to a mediumship class in New Jersey. I worked with a student, and she brought through my grandmother, this grandmother, Esther, and she said, gave me some information, so I knew it was her, and then she says, she's talking about you writing. She's talking about writing and how she's supporting you. I'm like, I didn't tell anybody I was writing a book. And this grandmother, knew about the book before my husband, kids, or my parents. I went home that night and told my parents. But so this grandmother has been supporting this whole process. And here she is coming through on your show supporting the book. And
That's
you got her by name.
Cool. I feel like we need to put her in the credits. That's amazing. Yeah, it seems, I'm just going by what a new feeling I'm feeling in my body, like shamanically, how I feel can sometimes, so it feels as though she's very proud of this book. Almost as if it's kind of hers too.
I bet it is.
That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's the beauty of mediumship. So it's not hard. You wouldn't consider yourself a medium before
No.
15 minutes ago, right?
No, an extra large at best.
Right.
A double extra large, come on. Who are we kidding?
So
I'm sorry, I had to.
that's okay. So that's basically it. You quiet your mind, use your intention, have a belief, be basically sane and healthy emotionally, and then practice for hours and hours and hours and hours and years.
I didn't practice at all. I just did what you said.
Well, there you go.
So,
well, I'm a good teacher, and I wrote a book.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it can be done.
Yes.
Because literally, I'm a mallet head. I am. How long have you been watching the show now? I don't know these things. Oh, look at this. I get a name and a lady cooking.
That is really cool.
Wow, yeah. Oh, not a lady cooking. Your
My
grandmother, Esther.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You might make my mother cry.
I know, but I kind of had a feeling come over me that says I need to be a little bit more respectful. It's not a lady cooking. It is your grandmother, Esther.
It's
and
true.
She's into this book.
And they're really people. Some people say, I've got this female energy. They're people. They just don't have their bodies anymore.
As well.
Not that we know of. I'm not aware of any of my ancestors doing that, but they might have gifts that they didn't talk about.
Yeah, really neat. Esther, I love you.
Me too.
Yeah, like she's totally here. Well, she's totally here. Yo.
So that's how it works.
I love her.
Me too.
Seriously, I feel her.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Wow.
So that's how mediumship works, and that's what the book is, so that people who are open to it, there's exercises. There's 65 exercises in there that work on opening up your intuition and then working on mediumship. Because you didn't ask me, but mediumship is done through psychic abilities. So your intuition and your
So you gotta
overall,
have a little psychicness.
but everybody does.
Everybody does.
I believe so. You don't have to have experienced spontaneous psychic abilities either. I didn't have any more than run-of-the-mill ones that I know of.
Wow.
And I didn't see any spirit people until I consciously decided to do this.
Yeah, and I was just kind of going by what you were saying. And right off the bat, there is this magnificent woman pulling something out of the oven, and I got a name long before I saw the image, and that wasn't like horror stories.
Oh no,
It's
not like that at all.
Yeah, well, I'm always just nervous because you know how you back in the day they just opened themselves up to be used by spirit. You know how they would do, and I was a little
I think
afraid.
you're thinking about Hollywood and TV. Because the
Yeah.
old day mediums, they still did it with respect for spirit, and it wasn't about like that.
Yeah, and this couldn't have been any more pleasant. I can't believe it. Now I'm just sitting here, I'm like, yo, I just did it.
I've got some beginner classes you might want to take. Or come to one of my retreats and you can spend hours developing this. You might get added another tool in your toolkit.
Oh, yeah. So can I just want to look at this.
Absolutely.
I want to see what some of the headings are, because now since I've done this, I've forgotten what I'm here to do. So,
grounding. Oh, this is important.
Yes.
When you're done, it's good to close the door. I mean, you can go back to the book, but I should have done this with you.
Yes, let's close the
so
door.
There's Graham saying,
Close the oven door.
I wasn't talking about the oven door. You want to thank the spirit people that helped. You want to say goodbye to my grandma, and she can hang with me, but not with you, and just head out whatever safe, protective way to close down the door. You keep your chakras and energy fields strong and healthy and open. But what you do is just use your intention to close the door that you're no longer open for communicating with spirits anymore. And then, see, now that you're more grounded, if you wanted to look at that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fascinating here because I see here, where was it? The overcoming challenges, the dead or alive. You got a lot in there.
Suicides.
What about suicides? Is suicide bad like they say it is? Or if you talk to somebody who's...
Well, I don't think suicide is a good thing. No. But in terms
Oh my God, yes. No, it's not.
But in terms of connecting with people in spirit, people who take their own lives go to the same loving, healing spirit world as everyone else.
And you can still talk to them.
Absolutely. One of my best friends, close friends, is in spirit. He took his own life. He's come through like 8 or 9 different mediums. But I don't have the 800 number with me now, so whenever I tell people that people who take their own lives end up in a healing, supportive spirit world, I feel it's important. You can put that under the video. What I do is refer people to the 800 number for the hotline, because even though you go to a healing spirit world, it doesn't mean it's a good thing to do. And some people might think that, if they're on the verge of suicide, they might think, if it's all good there, I'll do it. And no, it's not a good thing to do. It's never the right decision. So whenever I tell people that, yes, people can come through a medium, suicide people usually come through more often than others because the people they left behind need to hear from them more than other people, because there's often guilt or, I should have been able to do something to stop them, like that. But I always counter with, it's not the right thing to do. So that's just one of the challenges, is dealing with people, unborn children,
because you've got all kinds of things there. What about, how would an unborn child come through?
Sometimes they do.
And how?
Well, the challenge with that is that they don't often have a lot of information. They can't tell you about their life. But what they often do is talk about the people who are left behind, the child that doesn't have the sibling and the parents and what they went through. And it's all about healing and support for the person left behind.
Yeah, because the challenging stuff there, what would happen if someone came up with that their first time trying?
If you're working one-on-one with someone else, it's wonderful. You both work with it. One of the things about unborn children is if you were in a group setting, like giving a reading to a group of people, there's a lot more to think about there. And then there's some things that you don't share. And also then there's the side in whether was it a miscarriage or was it intentional, and whether or not to share that with the person. So that's why there's a whole section on that.
Wow. It's just amazing. I can't believe that I actually was able to do this
so quickly and easily and validating. So what you did was got validating evidence on your first try. That's what we want. So what you got with a name makes it seem not like I've got a tall, dark man here, or I've got someone named David or Michael, because everybody probably has a David or Michael in spirit. What you got was evidence, and that's what it's all about. Not a horoscope. It's about actual evidence validating that you're connecting with someone in spirit for someone else that you didn't know about.
But so I was able to do that, but I wasn't able to get any more information. So that's what the thing is, though, is to be able to now find out.
But you did that in a few minutes on a TV show without ever trying before. So it's a brilliant start. So then if you wanted to do it, you would practice with other people, join a mediumship development circle where you sit and work with other mediums, do practice readings, take classes, and then expand it. And then you aim for lots of information about the people in spirit.
And you can have whole conversations.
It's not exactly a conversation. I've never had well, he said and she said, but you get more information. You can get specific messages you can share memories, and your sitter is saying things like, yes, I understand, that makes sense, and like you said, oh my God, or like I said.
Yeah, wow. I still can't believe I did it. So you've got this book.
That's a book for anybody who wants to read about mediumship, and it's how to.
So this
with
is
a bunch
like
of
its own
exercise.
little course. And
Yes, this is a companion journal where if you're serious about developing your abilities, you can use it. You can track your practice readings, your meditations, your experience with spirit guides. It has prompts about what you're trying to do, what evidence you've received, and it's a workbook for people who are serious about developing their abilities.
Wow, and we see that your technique works, because shout out to Esther. Wow, this was just amazing. You got like a couple of seconds. Is there one last thing you want to get out that we haven't touched on yet?
Shouting out to the people who would like to do this kind of work but didn't think it was possible.
It is possible.
If I learned how to do it, I think that almost anybody else can if you're interested in doing it.
Yeah, and it's true. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a mallet head, and I got to get a looking on Esther. Grandmother Esther.
Grandma Esther.
Amazing. Amazing. All right.
If I wanted to, I could probably talk you through and you would get more information.
Wow. But it's possible. Look at this. Being a medium is a choice. If you feel called to being a medium, guess what? You can. Here's a book that tells you how to do it. It's amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, you were amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Very helpful that you were good at doing that.
Yeah, I have fun. I do love this show. All right, well, Sharon Farber, thank you again. Choosing to be a medium. Look at this, a book and a journal for charting your progress. This was an amazing show indeed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Time for Healing.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.